Good afternoon and welcome back to the Mayhem. Thanks for joining me on the channel. Today we've got a pretty exciting video for you where we're going to be assembling the biggest part of the structure of the 3D printer that we've been building, the Prusa Mark 2.5S. So I've got all the parts laid out here, so let's get started. Alrighty, so I've got all the parts laid out here. I've got our x-axis here. I've got our z-axis printed parts here. I've got the trapezoid nuts here. I've got our motors here that already have the little purple pieces here. These are to protect the motor, so they're there to keep any contaminants or whatnot from falling down in there. I've got our handy dandy bundle of zip ties, all of the hardware that we're going to need for this part of the process, some wrenches for tightening up the frame, and here's the frame. So we're going to get started with this piece and placing the motor mounts onto the frame. So the motor mounts are going to go onto the frame somewhere right there. All the frames are pre-drilled, so you can see the pre-drilled holes here. You can see here. So we'll just go ahead and start putting them in. The rods are on the outside, so they go just like that. One more time. Okay, that means that I believe that's on the right side. That's going to go at the top of that. That's going to go at the top of that. Okay, so those are right. All right, back to this. Wire down, go in, right there. All right. If it's worth doing right once, or wrong once, it's worth doing right once. Okay, let's get that one. I'll do this one. Okay, I think these were tight. Yep, I already tightened those. Okay, so we got that part done. All right, next step. Placing trapezoid motor nuts. Okay. All right, so that's going to be, I'll place this off to the side. Okay, now we're going to go to this piece here. So on this piece, what we're going to do is we're going to put these pieces in. They go right here on the top and help drive this axis up and down. Before we do that though, we have to put in our little hex nuts. Okay. Notice the orientation. So, I have seen some printers put together where the trapezoid nut had this flange up. It actually goes down. I know of one person who's done that. And I'm not naming names to protect that guilty party. He knows who he is. I don't know if he watches my videos though, so he might just completely miss the joke. Okay, that's all good there. Let's see what the next steps are. Identify rod length. Okay, so I've already got the rods out. Insert Z rods. Assemble the x-axis. Place Z rod top parts. Okay, so we're going to take these rods and we're going to clean them up. I'll do a light coat of oil to make them really hard to handle. Take the frame, make a mess with our oil. Insert the Z rod, or the Z rods. So they go right in there. Right in there. Now we're going to take our x-axis. Line the bearings up. Okay, I don't see any of the little ball bearings coming out, so that's awesome. So now we can take this, push it down. I would almost rather put this together a bit differently, because I think it's easier to put together once the frame is on the, but that's what the instructions say do, so that's what we're following. All right, now we're going to put the tops on. Now the screw rides around in the larger part and the shaft rides around in the smaller part. Okay, that's got that part. Take some zip ties and do some cable management. Alrighty. So what it wants us to do is use these holes here, zip tie, and zip tie that. Alright, and these are just zip ties that I picked up from Amazon. Not a sponsor. Run this on top of the frame. Assemble the y-axis. Now we're going to put the top frame on the y-axis and tighten it all up. So that's what this is going to look like. We're going to take our frame and our y-axis, this piece pickup, it's going to go somewhat there. So the way that's going to look, we've got two washers. They go on either side of the frame. This is what we have going on. So if you look down here, you can see right here, I've got a washer on each side of the frame. Okay, and it's the same way on both sides. So that's what we got going on. Now we've got the back side already tight. So the trick is just going to be tightening the front to the back. The two on the back are just jam nuts. Tip this up, take a look at it. That's what it looks like. Not mashing any of our wires. And double check the tightness. So that is major assembly joint. Hey, how about that for all you aircraft people? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the belt routed on. Now this is a little bit different. I'm probably gonna reposition the camera here a bit. So that I can capture this step, because this is gonna be a little bit different. Hopefully this kind of gives you a good idea. So this is where the belt goes around, goes back under the motor here, and then back into here. All right. Rubber belt. So it's going to go right into the slot here. Over the idler. Under the idler. Under the motor. This is a little tricky because it's already got a little bit of a kink to it from already being installed on the other. But we'll work with it. So there we go. And then over. Now what we're going to do is we are going to loosen this, rotate the motor up, hook it in, and then tighten it. So I'm just going to temporarily put it into this spot right here, leaving the excess on. Gonna be about right. Let's drop the fastener in there and see what it looks like. It should ping like a music string. I guess that pings. All right, so we'll leave it like that. Let's back this off, and we're gonna cut him. Let's try right there. Shove that guy in there, just like so. Now I still got a little bit of belt. If I had to back it off a little bit, I can, but I think I got it right. Tighten him up. Check the tightness. Ping. Got full travel. So that's got that. Let's see if that's it. Leave. Adjusting the tension screws. So remember the screws that we put in over here? So we can adjust those up now. So we'll adjust them up to touch. Okay. I believe that's all we need. You can take these and adjust. But honestly, I don't think we need to. I think we're good. Feels pretty good. Okay. And that, my friends, is Z-axis assembly. All right, so there you go. There's the Z-axis assembly, major joint on the printer. So huge step in the process. So I think next, one of the final steps is going to be the extruder. And that's a pretty long drawn out process. We'll try to get it dialed in to a single video, but I can't make any promises because it's almost as complex, if not more complex, than the Y-axis. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, leave suggestions, and have a great day. Separate that out. That one drops down. Well, I actually have to keep them down. All right, there we go. So now I've got see if we can get you down here to take a look at what we've got going on. And I dropped the phone. Nice job, dude. All right. This is what we have. Let's see. I'm looking at this now, realizing that I've got it set up backwards. This mount goes over on this side. This one goes over on this side. Two things told me that: the overhang and the rod hole.